What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Brother L, back with another one. This one is on sports, y'all. So if you're not interested in sports, if you're not interested in football, just a heads up. But this one is a little different, man. My first one on sports. I gotta talk about this because this is probably, I want to say probably the second, the second worst Ravens loss. I would say the first worst loss would be when we lost to when we lost to the Patriots, Tom Brady's Patriots in the AFC Championship with that missed field goal. Well, I would say this one is like kind of right up there with it. Of course, it's not as bad as that one because that loss in the AFC would have got us to the Super Bowl. But anyways, I digress. This is just it hurts, man. It hurts. I kind of saw it coming, especially, and don't take this the wrong way, but especially when our head coach decided to start Lamar Jackson. I honestly think that we should have gave Lamar Jackson a the game off. I honestly believe it. If you watch the game, Lamar Jackson did not scramble a lot. The times that he did scramble, most of the time he got sacked. All right, and and it was just it's like if you got Snoop out there, we seen Snoop go on design QB runs last game, and the times that he's been out there. Lamar Jackson is only running if he has to. The man was still hurt. I don't care what nobody said. He can't break away from guys. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he's getting older. He's like 28 now. I get it. But all of a sudden now he can't break away from any sacks. Like he used to be definitely almost unsackable. But now, and I get it, our line sucks. I get it. But again, whose problem is that? Well, you can say that goes to Eric DaCosta, you know. But the thing is, man, it's just like I really think that we should have rested Lamar because if we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose. It is what it is. But all we gotta do is get in, and if we get in, then you have Lamar, who would have been rested this week. He would have been rested for that bye week, and then it would have been 3 weeks of rest that he would have got. Maybe you bring him out for a little light practice, you know, but at least he would have been 3 weeks rested. Maybe he would have had a little rest. I don't know, but that's all hypothetical now because it's over now, and it's about time. I think that we get rid of Harbaugh. Harbaugh, he's been here for like this was his 18th season. He's given us 18 years. Of that 18 years, we got a Super Bowl, and I thank him for that. Even though arguably a lot of people will say that was pretty much Brian Billick's team. Well, it was 4 years after he took over. But, you still had Ray Lewis, who's arguably the greatest linebacker in football history. We had Ed Reed, who was at the back end of his career, but still at the back end of his career, he was still better than most guys out there, or one of the top guys still out there at the time. Um, you know, I just we reached the ceiling, right? And arguably with this roster, we probably got the best roster that Harbaugh's ever had. Okay, and you gotta remember, like Lamar is next year. Lamar will be going into his ninth season. People, he had a spark when he started. He put him in there. It caught the NFL by surprise. The NFL was used to statue quarterbacks that stood in the pocket pretty much no matter what, and only ran for their lives if they absolutely had to. Um, we kind of just took the league by surprise. But right now, everybody knows what's up. Everybody kind of knows how to contain Lamar. And then now you have a Lamar who isn't even mobile because he's hurt. And then so everybody's just going to max protect on the coverage. So it's hard for him to, you don't have that threat of him running off, taking off. And I just don't understand why we didn't start Snoop for that game. Now, of course, if we start Snead and we lose, everybody's going to be, what are we doing starting to back up, put Lamar in. I get it. But the thing that Snead brings that Lamar does not right now is mobility. And we saw that during this game. Yeah, he rushed for that one first down, but that's it. We know Lamar. If nobody's open downfield, and he sees any type of opening, he'll take off. But that's not the case no more. We started Lamar. Harbaugh did everything he could, and he tried his best, and it's just his peak. And now we got the best routes. You can't get any better routes than this besides maybe fixing that O-line. And people want to talk about the defense. That's a coordinator problem. We pretty much have very similar to the same defense as we did when Mike McDonald was here. And our defense was ranked number 1. And now we have a new DC the next year, and I'm talking about last year, we're like middle of the pack. This year, middle of the pack. I think we ranked like 20-something, like the bottom middle of the pack. Like I'm done with it. I'm fed up with it. It's the same story. We have great regular season, make it to the playoffs, one and done. Maybe we might beat some wild card team, and then we'll lose again in the divisional. Or we'll finally make it to an AFC championship and can't never make it past the Chiefs. Always lose to the Bills. Harbaugh, when the pressure is on, he cannot beat good teams. He can't do it. And it's time to move on to somebody else, in my opinion. Who that's going to be, I don't know. But it's time for us to move on to something else and get a modern offense. And I like our offense is good, but maybe we can step it up because you got to remember we came from Greg Roman, who all he did was pound the rock, and then he passed it when we should have ran, which I think is a Harbaugh job thing because we kind of do the same thing now. Honestly, the media killed him nationally, or I should say the medium dragged Harbaugh nationally for not running the ball during the Patriots game for some reason, not putting Henry in. Like, it's time for him to go. It's time for him to go. The same story, different year. Time for him to go. And we can't even make the playoffs with arguably the league's best roster. Offensive weapons all over the place. And we can't make the roster. And we can't protect our quarterback. The most important, the most valuable asset to this franchise. And we can't protect him. It's time for Harbaugh to go. All right, y'all. Well, I guess I'll see y'all next season. And I don't know what's in store for the Ravens next year. But all right, y'all. Peace.